Brock Lesnar, UFC heavyweight champ. Brock, before you go, what was your reaction to Josh Barnett testing positive for roids and perhaps blowing a chance to fight Fedor?
Well, I think it just shows his. I don't like to talk bad about anybody. I think it was a poor decision on Josh's part. I think it's probably a career-ending decision for him. I mean, and then here, I was talking to my wife about this yesterday when I found out the information about it. Here, I'm the guy that everybody's been pointing their finger at. That's been, the steroid freak, and I find it ironic that it's here. I've been getting this rap my whole career since I was a sophomore in high school, and now you find these guys. I just can't believe they stick their neck out and risk their careers for any of that. And it's just, I think it was a bad move on Josh's part.
Do you think you're going to get a shot at fighting Fedor?
Ultimately, someday I would hope, but I want to. I want to be able to get in the octagon, and I think I've still got a lot to prove as a fighter. I want to get a few more fights in, and I want to, it's just not. I'm not here to hotshot anything. As far as the fight business, this is a business for me first and foremost. This is how I make my living, and that's how I look at it. So. We created a lot of controversy, I guess, the post-fight, and in some ways I look at this, was this a good, I gotta look through for the good in all this and not, retrospect and reflect on the bad. So ultimately in the end, is there a fight? Would I accept a fight from Fedor? Absolutely.
Brock, let me ask you something. Watching you, and you're such a physical presence, and you've got that giant knife that's tatted up to your chest. And I'm going to ask you this. Is it something that you thought would look cool, or is there something symbolic in that?
Well, all of my tattoos are symbolic to me. I don't just go out and get drunk one night and stumble into a tattoo parlor and say, oh, that would look cool, so the knife on my chest, is the old warriors live by the sword, die by the sword kind of thing. And it was one of those things where I felt like my back was against the wall. I had left the WWE. I had, I guess, in some people's minds, failed to make the NFL, and so I really had to. I felt like I wanted to symbolize and have something that when I looked in the mirror that reminded me of probably one of the lowest points in my life, to remind me every day to get off my ass and get out and do something with myself, and that's what I did. So I wanted to have something visual. Most of my art is on my back, and I can't see it unless I make a great attempt to look for it. So I wanted something at the lowest part of my life that was going to remind me that hey. Good things, there's got to be something better than this.
In a final thought, you brought it up. What about the NFL experience? Why did that not go your way, and why do you think you didn't make it?
Well, I think ultimately, I think it was just one of those things. I tried to hotshot it, and ultimately, I have never said this. I wanted out of the entertainment industry, and I had to have an scapegoat, and I wanted to pursue something that. Ultimately, contractually, that I could pursue, and I missed a chance. I was reaching out and grabbing for something that anything, and it was the NFL. I missed an opportunity when I left college. I had a few things on my plate when I left the University of Minnesota. WWE was one. Stay in college and play college ball, or I had some tryouts. Available to me, and I chose the sure thing, and I didn't. I'm the kind of guy that I need to know the answers to. I don't want to sit and spend the rest of my life wondering if I could have made it. So I attempted the shot. I made it through the full training camp, and then they wanted to send me over to Europe or up into Canada to get some more experience, and it just wasn't for me.
Brock Lesnar, UFC heavyweight champion, coming off that second round stoppage of Frank Mir. Brock, I appreciate the candid conversation. I didn't mean to keep you that long, but it was an excellent interview. I appreciate the visit. We got to do it again soon.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Brock, I enjoyed that. Nice job. All right, Brock Lesnar, So what you have here is the guy that you saw at UFC 100, probably formed an opinion or two based on some of the things that he said and did. My question now is, do you feel the same way about the guy now as you did after that fight? Are you buying it? Do you believe it? What do you think now? Does that change your view of him at all? Or maybe does that just affirm what you were thinking? 1-800-636-8686. I think that's a little surprising. That might not be what you expected. If you thought that he was going to come out like, quote, the heel, the villain, a monster, a guy talking a lot of junk, looking for the next guy to rip up, that's not the way he came off at all. Again, is he playing a role? Do you buy that he was sincerely apologetic about some of the things that he said and did? All right, I've got more thoughts on that. Phone lines all of a sudden now lighting up. I will take your thoughts on that conversation when we come back. Romy, when you said that Brock Lesnar was coming on the program, I figured he would come on and act like he did after the win, but he wasn't. He came off cooler than Smooth Joe and Aaron Brooks. He said he just needed about 5 minutes to cool down after the win. It just shows you how jacked up these guys are. When they fight, I'm not a big UFC fan. I don't wear the affliction gear like Brandt and other SoCal dudes. But now I am a Brock Lesnar fan, and I will tune in. It's a great interview, Rome. War Ray guy getting into the hall. I don't wear affliction gear like Brandt and other SoCal dudes. Is that what, quote, Brandt and SoCal dudes are known for? I don't know. I've known Brandt for a couple of years, and I've never seen him wear any of that gear. Kyle Brandt's taking tomorrow off. Bachelor party in Chicago. Don't forget to wear your affliction shirt and represent. Are you going to be at Wrigley? You got to call the show tomorrow. Rooftops. All right, call the show tomorrow. Kyle Brandt is going to be rocking his affliction tee from the rooftops in Wrigley, and he will represent tomorrow. He'll be a correspondent.